Hello, Janet.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So, do you mind introducing yourself quickly, just saying who you are and what you do, what's your business?
I'm Janette Vince. I'm an eyelash technician and I have a practice in Wimpole Street in central London.
You started as a one-person business, and there's two of you working in central London today.
Yes, I taught her about a year ago, so she's been helping me with, because I'm getting very, very busy. I can't see everyone that I need to see, so I've trained her and she's helping out as well now, which is nice.
So it must have been quite a gamble at the beginning to start a business from a central London location where property prices are quite expensive. So what made you decide to go into this and how did you succeed?
I kind of was in the right place at the right time, really. I was doing it at home and doing a few mobile technicians, and then this company heard about me and asked me if I would help them out. They originally did a promotion and it got oversubscribed and they didn't have enough people doing the lashes, so I helped them out and probably did about 1,000 clients in 6 months. So it's probably the best training I ever had. But obviously I'd got quite a few clients from that, and then they asked me if I wanted to, you know, rent a room from them for the future, which I decided to do.
When we met and we started talking, so I think you came to talk to 10 to 8 because you wanted people to be able to book online. Is that correct?
It is, yes, definitely. Because I was getting so busy, and I was always taking my own calls because of the place where I am. They're always busy, and I just felt I'd like to speak to clients, and they like to ask questions. So in the beginning it wasn't too bad, but in the end I was just so busy that just taking some of the clients out of the equation and letting them book themselves online has been a huge help, so that I'm not having to answer the call all the time or missing calls because I'm too busy to answer.
Well, one thing I've noticed is that you do return all the calls.
Oh, I'll always answer the calls if I can, and if I can't for any particular reason, then I will always get back to someone. I'll never leave them, without getting back to them. But like I say, the benefits have been great with having the online booking system, because it's taken probably about 50–60% of the callers away and they're booking themselves in. And my existing clients that rebook, I don't have to keep changing their appointment if they can't do it. They just go in and rebook themselves. So it's a huge weight off my shoulders. Because before I was also sending texts out every single day on the train to all my clients to remind them the next day that they've got their appointment. So I don't have to do any of that now, which is great. I can just read a book on the train instead. So it's stress that I don't have to do anymore. So that's good.
Can we go back to the online presence? Because I mean, one thing that's really striking about your website, which is designerlashes.co.uk,
Yes.
is how professional it looks.
I did a lot of research on the internet looking at how they did their SEO work and how well they're coming up in the listings. And I phoned them up, asked them if they would make a site for me. They actually said I would be better off finding it somewhere else because they're a bit more expensive than average. And I said, no, I want someone that knows what they're doing. So they did the site with me with bits of input of what I want, and the SEO work for me as well. And we worked together doing that.
To me, what I've seen changing in the last few months is how much of your work I could see on Facebook, on your website. So I find that quite reassuring. For example, for me, when we started talking, I had no idea what designer lashes were and why I would need to spend as much money as what some of the treatments cost. So I felt, well, how does she convince people to spend all this extra money, which, I mean, looking at your diary, it's completely full. How do you do it?
I just think that people like as much information as possible. I think if you're a company you just put stock photos on and just a little bit of text, that's not really telling anyone anything. So I decided to write quite a bit of content explaining to people. I've got nothing to hide. There's no secrets on how it's done. So I had a video made so they can see what I'm doing, how it's done. I have a lot of people saying that's really helped them to understand what's going on. It gives them an explanation and trying to help them decide which lashes they want.
Okay, and so I heard that from the time that you started 10 to 8, there's now 50 to 60% of people who are happy to book online. That's nice.
Estimate.
Yeah, well, it's good. Do you think it's also helped reassuring people of the professional side of your business?
I think so, yes. Lots of people comment on they do comment on the website, and that was one of the reasons they bought, because it looks so good. I often get people when they do phone up and say, "Oh, I've seen your site; it's really lovely," and that just gives them the confidence to come to me, which is great.
Is this reinforced by the reminders and the emails they get with 10 to 8?
Yes, yeah, and like I say, it stops me having to do it. So I still get a few people that know shows, and I think whatever your industry you're in, you're going to get that. If you're in the beauty, it's just, but it's definitely keeping them to a minimum, I think, and the fact that they get reminders, and obviously either with a sort of email or with the SMS as well. Having both options is great, because at least one way you're going to get them to remind them.
Do you think no-shows is a big problem in beauty?
It's a problem, especially for someone like me. If you work, I only work 4 days a week, and I like to pack it all in. That sounds awful, but I like to work back to back with clients. So if someone doesn't turn up, it's too late to get someone else in, and it's a time slot you'll never get back. Generally, my own clients that have known me for a while, they're great. They tend to phone up if they can't, or they change the appointment. It's usually a new client. Thankfully not that many, but sometimes it's a new client that maybe have forgotten, or they've just decided not to, and they just haven't bothered to respond to the even reminder and saying whether they want to cancel or not. So I think it'll always be, unless you take a deposit up front, which I could have done, but I just decided I didn't really want to go down that route, just hoping people will have the courtesy, just phone or text, say, sorry, I can't make it. So generally they do. There's a few that don't. That's like the same for everyone.
So now do you spend a lot of money on marketing, and apart from your website? And
I don't do any other marketing apart from the website, and I do other marketing. I do the website and AdWords. They're the only two. I don't do any offline marketing. That's all word of mouth.
Wow, that's fantastic. So it's really good value for your business now. If you had any tips for people who are thinking, should I start with 10 to 8 or not, what would it be?
I just think for anyone that's in this type of business where you need appointments, that they should start as soon as, because it just, if you can get it on your site and it gets people trained to book straight with you, it just takes a huge amount of time off your hands. Plus, I had the option of obviously getting someone else in to secretary or whatever to take my receptionist to take my calls. That's so much more expensive, and they'll all, in the end, most people that do call want to speak to me. They don't really want to speak to a receptionist if they do want to ask questions. So it's just so much cheaper to do it with 10 to 8 rather than pay wages and have all the things that go with that, with staff being sick or whatever. So for me, it was the best option.
Thank you. Well, is there anything else you would like to say? I mean, if people are interested in coming to see you at Designer Lashes, or just go to the website and book you?
Go to the website and book me for whenever you want, or Raina. We're there most days, and if there isn't a day that you get the time to get in, you can always phone, and we might be able to fit you in. But just go to the website, and it's got everything they need to find out about what lashes are and what to do.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Janette. That's really useful. I hope that will be useful for other people listening.